Hello everyone, bringing you another video today which was filmed at the Airborne Assault Museum, and in this video John, the curator of the museum, is going to take us through the contents of the cabinets which are dedicated to the Falklands War. Now in these cabinets there's not only a display of small kit and a mannequin representing a soldier of the parachute regiment during the Falklands War, but there are also various items brought back or items of other kit that were used by the parachute regiment during the war. So very interesting, and as I say, John is going to run through some of these items now.
Okay, so whilst the museum has been closed during lockdown, it's actually given us an opportunity to look at quite a few of the displays we've got, both existing ones and planned new ones. One thing we've always had is a very good Falklands display, but we've added to that over the last few weeks by going through the reserve collection and adding all these various items in here to, as accurately as possible, depict exactly what a guy would be carrying in the Falklands. Now you can speak to multiple veterans and they'll say, well, I didn't carry this, I carried this instead, etc, etc. So what you have here is a sort of best amalgamation of everything that people carried in both 2 and 3 para. From rations all the way through to food and clothing, to ammunition, magazines, belt-fed ammunition as well, cleaning kit, etc. So we're trying to strive to be as accurate as we can. Also we've got displayed the para-bergen and the webbing, sleeping bag, etc. And then all modelled on the mannequin on what it would look like to be carrying this huge amount of equipment during this campaign.
So we have some various bits and pieces in here, John, various original bits and pieces with history behind them.
Exactly. So what you're looking at here is, in any museum display, you want to represent what it was like for the soldier in action, i.e. the last section we had with all the equipment they carried, and then mirror that with some original items from the battle. So you'll see the mortar plate there, which shatters under the sheer volume of firing.
Yes, you see it at the back
Which is shattered into 3 sections just through, round after round being pumped through it. And immediately in front of that, you've got a nice human touch item, this range bag, marked up with the medical Red Cross. This belonged to a 2 paramedic who at the regimental aid post had this filled with dressings. He used all the dressings up and then he discarded the range bag. When he visited the Falklands 20 years later on a commemorations trip, he said, oh, this is where I had my regimental aid post. And he looked and the same range bag was still where he discarded it. So he picked it up and brought it back to the UK where we're now displaying it. Behind there on the wall, you'll see a section of a GPMG, a rusty section of weapon. And that was picked up on Mount Longdon, so that's a section of an Argentinian GPMG blown apart during the battle. Immediately in front of that, you've got the radio set, marked up for 2 para Falklands and also H. Jones, so as used by 2 para. And immediately in front of that is the map and cap of General Menendez, the commander of the Argentinian forces in the Falklands.
No, that's the thing.
So obviously 2 trophy items picked up from the defeated forces there. To the extreme right of that, you've got a survival vest and equipment from an Argentinian pilot, as shot down by 2 para in a Pucara. And those items were retrieved off the pilot. And the last item in the case, which I'm sure Simon will cut some stills in, is the flag signed by every member of 2 para.
So there we are. I do hope you found that interesting. The museum is now open again, so I can highly recommend visiting. It's within Imperial War Museum Duxford, although it is its own separate museum. It's within the conservation hangar at Imperial War Museum Duxford. As I say, can highly recommend visiting. It's a very interesting museum and there's a lot of unique items on display there, some of which have been covered in other videos. If you'd like to see those and more content coming up, then please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've already subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the little notification button down below, which will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you'd like to support the channel, you can. There's both a PayPal and a Patreon link down below. And a massive thank you, as always, to those who help support the channel via those 2 methods. It's greatly appreciated, as I always say. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. There's Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, all linked down below. And if you'd like to make contact but you don't really use social media, there is of course also an email address down there as well. But that's everything for this video, so until next time, bye for now.